everybody, Joseph Rothschild here, aka NBT, back with another episode of One Take Testing, the show in which I show off a deck, give you a sense of how it plays, and tell you my thoughts all in one singular take. We're currently on take number 1, and you can trust me. Anyway, today we are playing Suship. Now, I asked chat when we started what the joke I should make when you saw this card is, and you'll never guess what they came up with. Anyway, Suship is a series of monsters that all revolve around Rice Suship, a level 4 normal monster with 2000 attack, and the following text. In a certain Suship port, in which I've been interested for a while, there is a rice Suship, of which only 2,000 vessels a year are produced, with a self-developed old rice that is not too sticky, and with a profound taste that cannot be enjoyed in any other ports, which many critics have heavily acclaimed. The interior of the harbor is of high status, making one's heart beat with excitement. As for the sought-after Suship, despite the vinegar concentration, grasping technique, and modeling worthy of a craftsman, there was something that wasn't quite right, wasn't quite there. Thus the store owner speaks. A red vinegar made in Yugioh front that will add a mellow and rich fragrance will be arriving to the port in the upcoming days, and from hearing that, I'm looking forward to this edition. It is unfortunate the surrounding sea area was somewhat noisy. It is with great expectation of a future visit that I am grading it 4 stars. We've come a long way from check this out, chat. So basically, all of the toppings of the Suships get benefits provided you have a rice Suship on your side of the field. And eventually, you are to exeese into their super dreadnought Suships. They've got a 5 and 2 4s, both of which are very powerful, and each of which represents a different topping. It's hilarious. The type of archetype you could really only get in Yu-Gi-Oh!, a card game that takes itself extremely unseriously. And as one of the most unserious individuals you have probably ever met, I'm happy to give it a whirl. Outside of the monsters, we've got a field spell called Suship Galley Kaisen. If you normal or special summon a Suship monster, even during damage, you can put a Suship card from your deck on top of your deck, and then once per turn, if your Suship monster special summon from the extra deck is sent to the graveyard by an opponent's card, that can be effect or battle, your opponent has to pay life points equal to defense of that monster on the field. Then you special summon a Rice Suship from your hand, and if you do, you special summon a Suship Xyz monsters using that monster as material immediately. It is a really frustrating card to play against, but unfortunately is susceptible to popping. Functionally, this archetype is pretty good. The only reason I'm not devoting a 10-minute testing to it is because there's just not enough support yet. We've got 4 main deck cards that are monsters and a couple spell traps. I think it needs one more wave before it does anything competent, and at the end of the day, it does rely very heavily on a single card that is Rice Suship. But for now, it's going to be a lot of fun in a one-take testing. I'm going to jump into US West Competitive, host as MBT, and the first person who gets in with the password SUS is going to be able to take a bite out of the champ. Prankster, you are today's lucky contestant. Let's start out with a fat scissors, and we did win the die roll. Let's mute opponents, mute spectators, and click that first. Ooh, shoot. We maybe shouldn't have clicked first. Okay, we're going to activate Suship Galley Kaisen. So first off, we're going to activate Urchin Suship, revealing Rice Suship. That allows us to special summon the Urchin Suship and the Rice Suship. And then we can trigger the effect of the Suship Galley Kaisen. Let's grab a rice to the top. Next, we're going to special summon a Row Suship. And then we can activate Row Suship's effect to excavate the top 3 and summon a Rice Suship that we find there. Okay, actually, we're not going to be able to do that because our opponent's opened infinite impermanence. That's unfortunate. Well, we still maybe can make something happen. We can activate the effect of Urchin Suship to make our Rice Suship a 5, and then go into our level 5 Suship. That's going to allow us to draw a card. So let's do that. I will take the Rice Suship here. All right, next we're going to special summon Urchin class second. We will trigger the effect of Urchin class. Because it was made with a Rice Suship, we can draw a card. Now, had we stacked this differently, that would have been the Rice Suship, but we might as well just activate the effect that gets it. Oh, we haven't normaled. Oh, we haven't normaled. Oh, unfortunately, we can't go for the Rescue Rabbit because we've only got one Rice Suship remaining in the deck. Oh, dang, that would be so cool. All right, as is, we're going to have to normal summon the Rice Suship and overlay for our other 4. We can make Dreadnought Suship to draw a card. Or the other one that draws a card. All right, let's make the Row Suship here. Grab another card off the top of the deck, hoping for a hand trap here. Son of a bitch. Well, you know, that's just the way it is. And we'll pass back to our opponent. Again, kind of a blind second deck because we want to be able to attack with these cards. But as is, you know, this is pretty strong. Okay, our opponent's going to go for a copy of Pot of Prosperity here. Now, a more competent deck could maybe flex this into something like a Utopic Future Dragon, but that's really not what we're looking for. Oh god, it's this. Whoa! What was that? I saw Dragon Maid and then I saw Fusion fucking Destiny. What is going on here exactly? I imagine they're picking Chamber here. Okay. Taking a long time to decide. Maybe they've DC'd. Maybe they're in awe of the flavorful foundations of our board. Maybe they simply can't... Okay, well, they picked Chamber. Chamber's quite bad for us. It represents full combo plus more. Yep, let's go. Chamber Dragon Maid triggers here. They're going to get a Dragon Maid spell trap from the deck to the hand. Oh, boy, am I glad no one's playing this deck. It's kind of frustrating because I think Dragon Maid is a very playable archetype. People are just not playing it for some reason. I think it's because the deck costs $10,000 and is still rogue tier. But I'm glad of it because this is a very frustrating deck to play against. Spheres Pass? Awesome, dude. That's a really sick setup. Do you think anyone's thought of that before? Oh my god, Spheres Very Pass. Oh, okay. So... we can negate its effect. I think that's probably the play. This might prompt a chain out a little earlier than my opponent would like. Yeah. Time for the non-targeting bounce. They went for the row. They'll go for Nurse here. That's actually really good for us. Obviously, this is a problem. I don't want the Chamber coming back, but them having 2 monsters on the field means that I'm going to be able to fire off Pankratops here. So that's something. We can normal summon the Rice Suship and trigger the effect of this monster. That's probably... or the effect of the field spell. It's probably decent. Okay. Let's go ahead and put Icefish Suship on top of the deck. It's the only one we haven't used yet. And unfortunately, from this position, we have to go to battle. So let's go Pankratops into the Chamber. Oh, they're thinking about it. Dragon Maid downtime. Oh, geez. I guess I will Pankratops targeting that. Or I could target the monster. No, definitely right to target the downtime here. Okay, awesome. Now that that's been resolved, let's send the Rice Suship into the Chamber Dragon Maid. Tidying. Oh, tidying target the second class. That is a fucking rough one, buddy. Okay, no big deal. We can still at least eat the nurse. All right, a lot's going to have to go right here. We're going to set that here for a reason you're going to see almost immediately, and then we're going to pass our turn. That's rough, but you're really seeing the downside of this deck. It just doesn't have the support necessary to go off every turn. Its end bosses aren't competent enough to beat anything remotely good. You know, c'est la vie. All right, we do have the Infip here, so we'll be able to negate the Chamber Dragon Maid. I hope. Better not have anything set. Okay, cool. Is our Rice Suship going to be able to take us home? I doubt it. Son of a bitch! Our only win condition was if our opponent has never read Infinite Impermanence in their entire life, and as a result activated Changeover in the wrong zone. But unfortunately they have. They sent Parlor here. They're going to activate Cleanup, targeting the Nurse, I'd imagine, and then Nurse targeting the Parlor. They will, if not be able to kill us here, functionally be able to do so. By sending pretty much anything to the graveyard, they can cycle the Changeover and go into a Xiao, and then Xiao plus House Dragon Maid is literally the end of the game. This is frustrating as all hell. Start step of the battle phase, they're going to trigger the effect of the Parlor Dragon Maid to put the Lore Power back on field. Go to combat, attack with Lore Power and House directly, because House will pop our Rice Suship. We at least get to trigger the effect of something. Nope has to be one that's been summoned from the extra deck. Instead, we're just going to take 57 for no good reason. Oh, they're not even attacking. Did I miss something? All right, Changeover back to hand. They'll fire it off, sending the Lorpar and the Nurse to the graveyard, I'd imagine, for a Xiao. Let's get to the draw phase before we concede. God, this deck is so frustrating. And now we have to beat an Omni plus a Fusion monster. And Ice Suship is the top card of our deck. We know because we stacked it. That is not going to do it. A GG to my opponent. An underrepresented deck, unfortunately taking down an extremely based one. So here's the deck. It's just not there yet. That's the unfortunate truth. Suship is an extremely cool archetype, very competent at making Zeus, but unfortunately you are shoehorned into either making a board going first that does literally nothing in terms of quick effects, or blind seconding and losing to decks like Drytron and even Dragon Maid that can put up a ton of negates and prevent you from popping off in the first place. I really like the design of these cards. I really like their playstyle. I think both their flavor in terms of how they play and also their sushi flavor is very good, but the cards themselves are a little crappy. Right now, this plays a lot like gas station sushi, and I'm hoping that we can build something that won't kill us after we consume it with one or two more sets of support. If nothing else, this is a fan favorite among duelists, so I'm sure that Konami will continue to support it, knock on wood, but if not, this will always hold a place in my heart as an extremely funny experience that Yu-Gi-Oh! Gave us for a very short period of time.